August 29, 2017. Dawn breaking over northern Japan. Most of the world still asleep. Business as usual in East Asia. Then, everything changed in 6 minutes. North Korean launch facility near Sunan. Hwasong-12 intermediate-range ballistic missile ignites. Not aimed at empty ocean. Not falling safely into sea. Trajectory: direct path over Hokkaido. Japan's northernmost main island. First time in decades North Korea deliberately fired missile over Japanese sovereign territory. 12 million people in missile's path. No warning, no explanation, no provocation that justified this escalation. Just Kim Jong-un deciding to demonstrate his regime's reach by endangering an entire nation. Japanese self-defense forces tracked launch immediately, calculated trajectory within seconds. Realized with horror, no interception possible. Missile traveling too fast, too high. All they could do? Sound alarms. Issue warnings. Hope for best. Citizens woke to nightmare scenario. Phones screaming emergency alerts. Television broadcasts interrupted. Train systems halted. Underground shelters filled within minutes. Parents shielding children. Elderly struggling to reach safety. The intelligence buildup.
As consequences. 24 hours earlier. For weeks, North Korea had been conducting missile tests, short-range launches, medium-range launches, missiles splashing harmlessly into the sea, provocative, but not catastrophic. Then intelligence agencies noticed something different. At 2 a.m., U.S. reconnaissance satellites detected unusual activity at Pyongyang Air Base. Missile transporters moving, fuel trucks arriving, launch crews assembling. CIA analysts studied the images carefully. This missile was not small. It was a Hwasong-12, capable of reaching Guam and potentially carrying a nuclear warhead, and it was positioned on a launch pad aimed east, toward Japan. At 3:30 a.m., the Pentagon issued urgent warnings to Tokyo and Seoul. North Korea preparing imminent missile launch. Trajectory unknown. At 4:45 a.m.,
missile launch didn't come from nowhere. U.S. intelligence agencies had been tracking unusual activity for 72 hours. August 26th, reconnaissance satellites detected convoy movement near Sunan International Airport. Military transport vehicles. Fuel tankers. Support equipment. Pattern consistent with major missile preparation. CIA analysts flagged activity immediately. Shared intelligence with Pentagon, State Department, allied nations. August 27th, thermal imaging showed increased heat signatures at launch site, mobile launchers being positioned. National Security Agency intercepted North Korean military communications. Encrypted. But frequency and volume indicated something significant. August 28th, satellite imagery confirmed worst fears. Hwasong-12 missile erected on transporter erector launcher. This wasn't short-range test missile. Hwasong-12 classified as intermediate-range ballistic missile. Range, 500 kilometers. Enough to reach Guam. Potentially carrying nuclear warhead. Previous North Korean tests fired missiles into Sea of Japan. Safe trajectories, provocative but controlled. But pre-launch positioning suggested different trajectory this time. U.S. Pacific Command issued quiet alert to regional allies. Japan, South Korea, Guam. Increased readiness levels across military installations. Patriot missile batteries activated. Aegis destroyers repositioned. But nobody expected what came next. Because firing missile over Japanese territory violated every unwritten rule of regional military posturing. It crossed line from provocation into act that demanded immediate, forceful response. August 29th, 5:06 am. Launch detected. Within 90 seconds, trajectory calculated. Destination clear. Not falling into sea. Not targeting military installation. Flying over civilian population centers in one of world's closest American allies. Japanese government had approximately 4 minutes to issue nationwide alert before missile entered airspace. 4 minutes to warn 12 million people. 4 minutes for citizens to find shelter. 4 minutes of absolute terror. Missile traveled 2,700 kilometers in total. Flight time, 19 minutes. Peak altitude, 550 kilometers. Well into space. Then re-entry trajectory taking it back through atmosphere directly over Hokkaido. Citizens described seeing contrail in early morning sky, thin white line cutting across dawn. Most beautiful thing they'd ever feared. Train systems automatically shut down. Government buildings evacuated. Emergency services on highest alert. And in Tokyo, Prime Minister Abe already on phone with Washington. Message simple: this cannot go unanswered. The carrier mobilization.
Tokyo immediately contacted Washington. The message was brief and direct. A ballistic missile just flew over our country. This cannot stand. At 5:15 a.m., U.S. Pacific Command issued its orders. The USS Ronald Reagan Carrier Strike Group was to move into position, prepare for a maximum demonstration of force. The carrier group consisted of 70 aircraft, 5 escort warships, a nuclear-powered submarine, and one mission: send Pyongyang a message it would never forget. At 5:30 a.m., 150 miles east,
US Ronald Reagan. CVN-76. Nimitz-class supercarrier, one of most powerful warships ever built. Overall length, 1,092 feet. Displacement, 100,000 tons. Nuclear-powered, essentially unlimited range. Carries approximately 70 aircraft, FA-18 Super Hornets, E-18G Growlers, E-2D Hawkeyes, MH-60 helicopters, crew, 5,000 sailors and aviators. Flagship of Carrier Strike Group 5. Permanently forward deployed to Yokosuka Naval Base, Japan. Makes Ronald Reagan closest carrier to Korean Peninsula. Perfect platform for rapid response. August 29th, 10:00 am local time, Ronald Reagan exits Philippine Sea Patrol area. Sets course north toward Korean Peninsula. Speed 30+ knots, covering 700+ miles per day. Escorted by guided missile cruisers and destroyers. US Chancellorsville, US Shiloh, US Stetham. The bomber deployment.
at 5:30 a.m., 150 miles east of the Korean Peninsula, Admiral Marcus Webb stood inside the ship's Combat Information Center. He gathered his commanders, pilots, weapons officers, and intelligence analysts. Then he spoke. 30 minutes ago, North Korea flew a ballistic missile over Japan. They endangered millions of civilians to make a political point. Today, we remind them of something far more important. Actions have consequences. Admiral Webb made his point clear. A satellite map filled the screen. North Korea's coastline, missile sites, air bases, command centers. We're going to conduct the largest show of force this region has seen in 20 years, he said. I want 60 aircraft in the air. I want them flying within 12 miles of North Korean airspace. And I want Pyongyang to understand one thing clearly. If we chose to act, every missile site they have could be eliminated within 90 minutes. The show of force.
Andersen Air Force Base, Guam, U.S. territory in Western Pacific. Strategic location. Approximately 3,400 kilometers from Korean Peninsula. Within range of North Korea's missiles. Home to 36th Wing. Operates various aircraft including most feared bomber in U.S. arsenal, B-1B Lancer. Supersonic strategic bomber. Nicknamed Bone. Length 146 feet, wingspan 137 feet, maximum speed Mach 1.25. Payload capacity 75,000 pounds of ordnance. Can carry combination of joint direct attack munitions, joint air-to-surface standoff missiles, long-range anti-ship missiles. In practical terms, single B-1B can destroy dozens of targets in one mission. August 29th, evening, 2 B-1B Lancers prepared for immediate deployment. Crews briefed on mission parameters. Flight path taking them directly along North Korean coast. Not entering airspace. but flying close enough to be tracked by every radar system Pyongyang operates. August 30th, 2 am local time, B-1Bs take off from Anderson. Flight time to Korean Peninsula, approximately 4 hours. But bombers don't fly alone. Accompanied by F-15C Eagles from Kadena Air Base, Japan. Providing fighter escort, E-18G Growler electronic warfare aircraft from Ronald Reagan. Jamming enemy radar and communications. After 2-hour demonstration flight, bombers turn and head back to Guam. Mission accomplished without firing single shot. But message delivered clearly, we can reach you, we can destroy you, we're choosing not to. The submarine surface. Submarine's most mysterious element of military power. Silent. Invisible. Operating beneath surface where satellites can't track them. Nobody knows where they are. When they'll surface. What they're targeting. That uncertainty itself powerful deterrent. But sometimes, submarine force surfaces deliberately. Not for operational necessity. For psychological impact. August 30th, 8 am, US Michigan surfaces in international waters 50 miles off North Korean coast. S-Chain 727, Ohio-class guided missile submarine. Specifications: length 560 feet. Displacement 18,750 tons. Nuclear-powered. Armed with 154 Tomahawk cruise missiles. Each Tomahawk has range of 1,600 kilometers, carries 1,000-pound warhead, can strike targets with precision measured in meters, and submarine surfaced where North Korean coastal observers could see it. Massive black hull breaking surface. Water cascading off deck. American flag visible on conning tower. Submarine remained surfaced for 2 hours. Crew members visible on deck. Clearly identifiable. Message impossible to miss. We're here. We've been watching. And you never knew. Submarines traditionally try to remain undetected. That's entire point of submarine warfare. But Michigan's surfacing was deliberate signal. And North Korea's Navy, consisting of aging diesel submarines and coastal patrol boats, couldn't detect them, couldn't track them, couldn't challenge them. After 2 hours, Michigan submerged again, disappeared beneath surface. Could be anywhere now. Could be miles away. Could be right off North Korean coast. Nobody knows. That's the point. Admiral Davidson later described submarine surfacing as showing one card from very large deck. We revealed one asset. But how many more submarines are operating in region? North Korea doesn't know. Can't know. That uncertainty forces them to plan for worst-case scenario. Psychological warfare at its most effective. The Air Armada. August 30th, 10 am, Operation Deterrent Thunder reaches climax. Largest combined air operation since Korean War armistice. United States Air Force, United States Navy, United States Marine Corps, Japan Air Self-Defense Force, Republic of Korea Air Force, all participating in coordinated show of force. From us Ronald Reagan, 40 FA-18 Super Hornets launch. From us Carl Vinson, 30 additional FA-18s. From Misawa Air Base, Japan, 18 F-16 Fighting Falcons. From Kadena Air Base, Japan, 12 F-15 Eagles. From Osan Air Base, South Korea, 20 F-15K Slam Eagles. From Kunsan Air Base, South Korea, 15 F-16 Fighting Falcons. Total, 135 combat aircraft airborne simultaneously. Formation stretches for miles. Radar signature visible across entire Korean Peninsula. Every aircraft armed, every pilot briefed, every system operational. They fly in coordinated waves, each wave approaching from different direction. First wave approaches from east, over Sea of Japan. Second wave from south, through Korean Strait. Third wave from southeast, along Japanese archipelago. Creating impression of encirclement. Of overwhelming aerial superiority. Aircraft maintain position just outside North Korean airspace, approximately 12 miles from border. International airspace. Completely legal, but unmistakably threatening. Formation holds position for 90 minutes, giving North Korean air defense operators plenty of time to track them, calculate their capabilities, understand implications. Because North Korean Air Force operates approximately 800 aircraft. Sounds impressive, but majority are obsolete. MiG-15s and MiG-17s from 1950s, MiG-19s and MiG-21s from 1960s. Modern fighters, MiG-29s and Su-25s, number fewer than 50. Against 135 modern American and Allied aircraft armed with advanced missiles, sensors, and training, North Korean Air Force would be annihilated in first hours of conflict. And Kim Jong-un's military planners knew it. Japanese pilots particularly enthusiastic about participation. One pilot later described mission, "We weren't there to start war. We were there to prevent one." By showing North Korea that threatening Japan means facing combined might of free world. South Korean pilots equally committed, living under North Korean artillery threat for decades. Having Allied demonstrate willingness to respond forcefully? Invaluable. After 90 minutes, formation breaks up. Aircraft return to carriers and bases. But message delivered clearly. North Korea launched one missile over Japan. America responded with 135 aircraft, 2 strategic bombers, 2 carrier strike groups, surfaced submarine. Overwhelming disparity in capability. The live fire exercises. Demonstrating presence powerful, but demonstrating capability even more powerful. August 31st, US and Allied forces conduct live fire exercises in international waters east of Korean Peninsula. Exercises include surface ships launching cruise missiles at practice targets, aircraft dropping precision-guided bombs, artillery units firing from South Korean positions, submarines launching torpedoes at simulated enemy vessels, all within sight and sound of North Korean coastal positions. Chancellorsville guided missile cruiser launches Tomahawk cruise missile. Target: floating platform 500 kilometers away. Flight time: 12 minutes. Direct hit. Platform: obliterated. Demonstration that American ships can strike targets deep inside North Korean territory without ever coming within range of their defenses. FA-18 Super Hornets conduct bombing runs, dropping 2,000-pound joint direct attack munitions on practice targets in ocean. Precision strikes from high altitude, each bomb hitting within meters of aim point. Showing North Korea what would happen to their command bunkers, missile sites, artillery positions if conflict began. South Korean artillery units fire volleys from positions along demilitarized zone. K9 Thunder self-propelled howitzers. Range: 40 kilometers. Rate of fire: 6 rounds per minute. Seoul positioned within range of North Korean artillery. Approximately 11,000 artillery pieces aimed at South Korean capital. But South Korean counter-battery fire increasingly sophisticated. Radar systems detecting North Korean artillery positions. Precision strikes eliminating them before they can cause significant damage. Exercises demonstrate not just American capability, but combined Allied capability. North Korea might strike first, but wouldn't survive counterattack. Explosions visible from North Korean observation posts along coast. Smoke rising from impacts. Sound of detonations echoing across water. Psychological impact immense. Because North Korean military propaganda constantly tells population that their force is invincible, that Americans weak and cowardly. But watching American military conduct live fire exercises just offshore? Watching cruise missiles streak across sky? Watching precision bombs obliterate targets? Harder to maintain propaganda narrative. September 1st, exercises conclude. Total munitions expended, dozens of missiles, hundreds of bombs, thousands of artillery shells. Cost: millions of dollars. Worth: preventing conflict that would cost trillions and kill millions. Pyongyang's silence. Most telling aspect of entire operation: North Korea's response. or rather, lack of response. During Operation Deterrent Thunder, North Korean military communications went virtually silent. No threats to turn America into sea of fire. No promises to wipe out imperialist aggressors, just vague condemnation of hostile policy and dangerous military exercises. Kim Jong-un made no public appearances for 2 weeks, usually visible at military events, factory visits, party meetings. But after missile launch and American response, disappeared from public view. Analysts interpreted this as sign regime leadership rattled. They'd expected measured diplomatic response, condemnations at United Nations, calls for restraint. They hadn't expected 2 carrier strike groups, 135 aircraft, strategic bombers, surfaced submarine, and live fire exercises, all within 72 hours. North Korean military intelligence certainly noticed something else: speed and coordination of American response, from missile launch to full-scale show of force. Less than 48 hours. That rapid mobilization revealed something terrifying for Pyongyang. Cross the line, and you'll face overwhelming demonstration of why you shouldn't. August 29, 2017. Day North Korea launched missile too far. Day America responded with message Pyongyang never forgot. Day deterrence proved it still works in 21st century.